So again, the same principle applies to these. We want to sketch these in isometric projection, but we have to sketch them by hand with no aids. So they don't want you to use a set square or a T-square, just a pencil in your hand. You can tape your paper down. As you see, I've got my paper taped down to the table because I don't want it to shift on me, but you need to draw it freehand. But I want to draw your attention to this rule about isometric again. Where do we start our drawings? We start them on the bottom right-hand corner of the top view. So with all of these objects, this is our bottom corner of our drawing in isometric, is this bottom right-hand view. So what's different about these views between object 14 and object 11? Well, they're rotated. So object 14 and 13 through 16 are the way you guys are used to drawing them, so I won't really touch on them. But object 11 is rotated. So what does that mean for us when we go to draw it? Well, even when I'm drawing freehand with construction lines, I still like to give myself the same kind of layout that you would have doing isometric projection. So I'll give myself a horizontal plane and a peg and approximately two 30-degree planes. It's all freehand, so I haven't used a square. But now I need to draw this. So where would I start? Well, I'm going to start with this corner. So this is where we get back into proportion. Well, let's say that this object is going to be this wide for that board, and the height is going to be twice as high. So I'm going to make it this high, and then it's going to be, let's say, this long. Well, let's draw that in. So go up, and then what's a horizontal line when you're in isometric? Well, it's on 30 degrees, so we've got to draw that line a little higher than the tip that I gave myself, and then just beat those lines up. And let's darken up this corner, darken up this, so that is the one end of my board there. Now let's go over here and go up. Now this is where it gets a little tricky. Can we maintain that distance? Well, just try to use this line as your guide as you're going up. Keep them parallel. Oh yeah, looks pretty good. Okay, now come back to the bottom. And then this piece ends right there. It butts into the other piece. So now I've got to do a 30-degree angle that way, and then the width of the board. So just try to follow this line parallel as best you can freehand. And now I've got that one board in place. So let's throw in this other board. It's the same width, so let's move back here, go up, and carry that line through. Looks pretty good. Now we have to go the same distance we had here to the back now. So let's go, I'm going to say right about there, and then 30 degrees. Keep these two parallel. Looks good. Now here's the tricky one. We have to do the bottom here, but it's a hidden line all through here. We want to keep it parallel. So I'll do it like this. I gave myself just a hint of a line there. Now I'll draw it back. Now there's one more piece that we're missing. There's a little glue block in the corner here. I think it's about the equal thickness as our piece, so I could go about here and here. Draw it in. Now does this line match there? Yeah. It's off a little bit. But there, now we've got a glue block. The whole reason why this object was twisted the way it was is we can get a little bit of a better view on the inside to see what that glue block looks like. We could rotate it even further. We're not going to because our project doesn't tell us to, but you could, right? You could rotate this corner over to here, and then your glue block would be back in this corner here, right? And you would see the whole glue block, right? That's an option.